Oh, hi, everybody. Welcome to a very special edition of Ill Communication. I'm your host, ill.Gates, and today we are deep in the heart of a very exciting startup in San Francisco, Patreon. And this is my new friend, Erica.
Hey,
she is head of many awesome things. I believe.
All the things.
What was your actual title?
Marketing and special projects with an emphasis on special.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so is it Patreon or Patreon? It's
Patreon, like patronage, or like I'm gonna pay you Patreon.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's understandable. You get a pass. You get like 3 passes for Patreon.
Okay. Cool.
But then bring the hammer down.
Okay. All right. So Patreon it is. So Patreon is a very cool crowdfunding platform that operates on more of like a subscription model as opposed to funding big projects. And it is a very, very cool thing that artists, perhaps even you, can use to fund yourself making awesome things. So, Erica, thank you so much for taking the time and bringing us into this like crazy command station with all these knobs and who's its and such.
Yeah.
It's a real privilege being here. What can you tell us about how the company got started and like what the vision is?
Oh, for sure. This is my favorite thing to talk about. Thank you for being here, first of all. Thank you.
Problem.
We love creators, like for real. So thank you. And we got started because a creator needed to make money to fund their project. So our founder's name is Jack Conte. He's awesome. He somehow doubles as a CEO of like an actual real tech company and is half of this band called Pomplamoose that does real things also, like go on tour and play big shows and make awesome records and most importantly, for this case, make YouTube videos. So his girlfriend, I think in like 2013, went out of town. And so he was like, I'm going to make a super awesome music video, the most awesome. I'm going to dedicate my whole entire soul to this. I'm going to actually build out like a world and make this just like the epitome of my creativity. And so he like spent something crazy like 6 racks on it and like spent 7 weeks in a garage or whatever, basement, some type of enclosed space by himself, doing this thing, putting his whole self into this video called Petals, which is pretty badass. You can watch it online. So he makes this video. He's like, yeah. This is actually for real from the video. I'm trying not to break it. So he dropped it, and he got like 250,000 views, which is like a stadium full of humans watching it, right?
A lot of views.
A stadium, yeah. And so he's like, sick. And then I think he dropped it on like some video distribution platform that shall not be named for now. And he got back like, I want to say like $200. Is what he ended up making on this video. They put, not only like his creativity in, but like actual time, energy, money into it. And he was like, what? How can that be? There's a stadium full of people like who watch this and care about it and leave me comments and tell me that this brings them joy and value. So he was like, that's super whack. So he actually, luck would have it, went to Stanford, called his freshman year roommate, who is like, happens to be a super boss. His name is Sam Yam, and he's a...
That's an awesome name.
Awesome name.
So fun to say, Sam Yam.
Sam Yam!
We need to call Sam Yam right now.
Yeah, we need to call Sam Yam. We called Sam Yam. He's a hacker. He's totally bona fide, super legit. And Sam's like, yeah, dude, I'll build that for you. Like, why don't we just ask your fans directly, and I'll build a tool to make that possible. So Jack built a platform with Sam to ask his fans directly for money to fund his next project. And it worked, and because he's a true artist, like all his homies are artists, and so he was like living with other people. This artist, Lauren O'Connell, started using it for her projects, and so they basically had like right away proof that it worked. So then they, did the startup thing, and so like maybe we should make this work for a lot more people. And they did, and people gave us money, and they believed in it. So now we're a startup. Whoa, we did it! Woohoo! Yeah, we came from the heart of a creator to be a real startup, which means now, so we're Patreon, and we are a creator-first company. We love creators. We exist to serve their interests, and we're really dedicated, I think, fundamentally to the idea that everyone, artists and creators in particular, since the ecosystem is not quite aligned in their favor always right now, we all deserve to do what we're here to do our thing, to do it fully, and to be able to have a roof over our head, to eat food, like I like food, that's a thing, to not have to stress, like to not be like worried to your core, that like, you know, you can't make your rent payment, or like, oh, you can't go visit your friend somewhere because it costs money to drive a car, like, we really believe that artists and creators deserve to do their thing, not stress, and that actually creativity sustains all of us. Art sustains us, and that if we really respect that and understand that and take that to heart, then we're going to sustain artists and creators. So that's what it is.
Amen. that is so cool. And I really think that, like, you know, I mean, I'd always grown up with a lot of other artists and, like, you know, family members and stuff being like, look, you know, if you go down this path, you got to be ready to be poor. You're going to be eating toothpaste sandwiches your whole life. Nobody's going to respect
Not even peanut
you,
butter, just toothpaste.
You know, or like you get the speech like, you can't eat respect, son. You know, and it's just like, it's so cool to see, you know, to see all of these different people, you know, attacking this problem, because we all face the same problem, and it just seems like, you know, you're in it alone, and it's just you against this wall of impossibility with your dreams in hand, just fighting your way uphill in the snow both ways and stuff. And now, you know, now we have all these really cool companies, you know, like you know, Patreon, and you know, I'm hoping ProducerDJ.com.
Hell yeah,
down the line.
ProducerDJ.com.
We're you know, we're trying to build like tools for people to help kind of, you know, help people to interact with their fans. And I just, you know, we're still like way in our infancy, you know, as far as the company is concerned. Babies. You know, it's just RD and I basically rocking it out of our house. So do you have any like any input for people who have who are dreamers, who are, you know, trying to build companies like this, or anyone, you know, any advice for a fledgling company like ours? Oh yeah, dude. Oh, so much. Well, I don't know if it constitutes advice, but yeah, I'm really doing it. I got lots to say. My number one thing. So everyone will have a different angle, right? Like the cool thing about a company is like, you need a lot of different people and a lot of different roles to make it happen. So first of all, find the people who are hella dope at what they do, and find win-wins with them so everyone can do their thing together. But then, yeah, so my angle, I'm like a writer and a brand strategist, and I like to encourage people. So for a startup, whether you're working in music, you're working in tech, somewhere in the intersection, you want to start a restaurant even, I always advise, like, why are you doing it? For what? If you can answer that question, you can answer it like clearly and in a way that other people can access, and you can write that out and like put it on a wall somewhere and revisit that, then there's so many decisions go into starting and then running a company or any venture of any kind. It's those little tiny decisions that like eventually determine, you know, your pathway. And I think like people get caught up in like, well, what should we do? Like, but should I, you know, get this kind of funding, or like, should I work with this kind of company, or like, you know, all these little these baby steps on the path. So I'm a big advocate of like, always return to why you're doing it and share that with other people. And the more that you share that why, the more you're going to find the people who are really there for the same reasons that you are. And like people who are there for the same reason or operating under the same principles, like that's when shit happens. You know what I mean? You can't force that. It has to be real. So you got to know why you're doing it. And then it's like magnetism. Great answer. Great answer. Cool. Awesome. So this platform is definitely really, really excellent for artists and other creators. But people have been using the platform in some pretty unusual ways. Can you tell us about you know, some of the surprising ways that you found people using the platform? Yeah, I mean, my favorite one, because I like cats and tea and. Well, yeah, okay, so there's a cat shelter. I'm like, I'll just cut to the chase. There's a cat shelter on our platform in Oakland called Hood Cats. Dude came in, he's awesome. Yeah, super chiller creator. So he's using it to fund like a community of cats and coffee and art. It also happens to be an art gallery. It's like, I know people who like make incredible decorative cookies on there and are like getting paid to make cookies. Yeah, you really can do anything. I've been talking to people who have farms actually, and or who have like
collectives and are like growing things and like looking at how can we like fund food, how can we fund like our, you know, the well-being of our community at the level of like nutrition, and then back up, like there's people, you know, write books, blogs, podcasts, like everything and anything that you can imagine that like people can share online, we're seeing work really super well on our platform. So like, yeah, I should probably save this for later, but I can't help it. Like Neil deGrasse Tyson, like he's like famous dude, has TV shows, he's like, whoa, like rainbow, you know, dream man, and he's like on our platform now, pushing his super dope podcast about the cosmos.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, like everything. It all works. If you can share it, it works.
Cool. One thing that I was really impressed with when I set up my page was just how easy it was. You know, like I've heard a lot of these horror stories from friends who've been trying to do a Kickstarter campaign, and it's so complicated, and you know, you got to have a marketing agency, and you can blow it, and then if you blow it, it's like then you can't do another Kickstarter and all this stuff, and it's like you almost have to crowdfund your crowdfunding campaign to like do it properly, and it becomes this whole complicated thing. Whereas, you know, when I set up my page, I just was like, okay, filling out a couple forms, put in my little W-9, put in my PayPal account, made a little YouTube video in the furry room, and then suddenly there's all these, like, you know, like my super fans who are like some of my favorite fans that I've ever encountered. They're all coming out of the woodwork.
Yes!
And, you know, this one guy's like, I mean, they're all kind of sharing their art with me now too, and like a lot of them are really talented, you know. And there's these two guys who are just excellent music producers, and there's this dude Brandon who makes these animations about like you know, these llamas with hats that get like 500,000 plays on YouTube. They're like pretty famous animated videos, and like they're killing it, you know. And it's like we're interacting and stuff. All of a sudden, it's been like a week since I made the page, you know, and it's so easy and fun. It's really like, it's just a real winner of an idea, and it just like it really feels great to like set it up and to find out who the people are who are really affected by your art enough to want to like interact with you and want to support you at that level. Do you have any advice for people who are maybe like on the fence about like, you know, whether they should go for it, or any kind of like best practices that maybe aren't covered in the video or anything like that?
Totally. Oh man, okay, yeah. So the first thing I always like to say, maybe the best way to start this is like, people always ask us like about like, oh, you know, how are you better than your competitors, or like what's like different, and I always like to start this with like, we're not competing with anyone, we're like collaborators. This is an ecosystem, right? So like, we're one new tool in this new ecosystem that's like emerging out of like, basically there's a long history of like middlemen and like exploitation. And so now technology is like, oh shoot, we can do like direct payment. Okay, that makes all these other interactions possible. So off top, my advice would be like, don't treat anything like a like end all be all. Like just play and experiment and like see what really works. And if Patreon really works, which it probably will, badass. But like, there's so many things you should be doing it in conjunction with. So number one, like, don't put all your eggs in a basket. Number two, it's like a lot of these things are low cost. Like, there's not that much barrier to entry. So it's like, you can go on there and you got to have a video, because we find that like really pulls people in and like makes them feel like they're part of what you're doing. But that video can be like, you could be at your computer just being like, what's up? I'm me, I do this, I need this, I need food, back to like food rant, that's a thing. You know, support me and I'll like share this experience with you to the best of my ability. It can be real simple, and once you do that, like I said, it's like free money. Like, if people find you or like your community's engaged, then I think like it's a beautiful outpouring. But actually, you know, it really is just like concrete, like as in it's real, a real manifestation of like what we already know exists, which is like, you know, you're homies with someone, you like believe in them and you respect them. That's of the utmost value, right, in our society. But for the first time ever, technologies like Patreon are starting to put real value, currency value to that relationship so that artists can survive. So I'd say like anytime that you can nurture those relationships, whether it's just like responding to comments, releasing new content, taking time out. Like if you have to, we do rewards. So basically people could be like, I'll give you $5 every month, or maybe they say I'll give you $20 every month, or they're a big boss and they're like, I'll give you $100 every month. To the dude's giving $100, like call them.
Yeah, oh totally.
Like, yo, thank you for this $100. So anything was just basically like recognizing that Patreon, all these technologies are putting like a formal value to something that's already there, that we already know about. We just haven't been able to like translate or transform into food, right? You like eat respect, that you're saying. Like maybe you can eat respect, actually, as it turns out. That's like the innovation at hand. So my 2 pieces are don't put all your eggs in one basket. This is like basically a low cost, low risk. Just try it, experiment, play with it, and then like really, like, it's a garden, man. Water your relationships. See what kind of flowers and fruit trees and shade might come up. You never know.
Sweet. Sweet. So I noticed you seem to really have a lot of fun around here. I mean, the building, there's like a ping pong table and like a kitchen, and like people are just like, it just seems like a really chill place to work. I mean, can you just like tell us a little bit about like what it's like working here with all these like artists and creators getting nutty? Any good like Nerf gun fights or anything like that break out?
Nerf gun fights, man. I don't know about Nerf gun fight. First, I'll get real serious for 1 second. This place is awesome. I've like worked in tech. I've worked in the arts. I was a promoter. I've like produced concerts. I've like been a marketer and a copywriter, all this stuff, and this is like the first place I've ever been that's a convergence of all my interests, because really I'm interested in creators and creativity and supporting them. So like working here is a trip, because like I come in, it's cool, there's beautiful art on the walls, there's lots of like ways to play. I think like creativity and play are like, you can't divorce them. But it'll be like, life is like so busy here. There's like so many things going on. I do conferences, I do events, and so I'm always kind of like my head's in the clouds. And some days I'll just walk in and like, oh, Amanda Palmer's in the studio right now. Don't go in there. I'm like, wait, what? Who's in the studio? What? So I'll be like, we can't see. We're in the studio right now. There's like a glass wall you can see, and I got my face like on the thing, like, hi.
Fogging up the windows.
Yeah, it's cool, man. And I make it a point, like, I love artists. I do everything I can to support them. And so I'm bringing, people like you, like, you're a badass in your own right. He's a badass. You already know. It's dope. The coolest place. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful to our founders, Jack and Sam. I'm grateful to the team that we're building out every day to be able to bring in creators here, feed them free food. Like back to the you can't eat respect and there's no free lunch. Like, yes, there is.
I just got one.
Patreon.
It was delicious. It's delicious.
It's that Patreon, and it's followed by like, some ping pong, and maybe even like we have, anytime a creator comes in here, we have them play for us, and we'll tweet and shout them out and like promote, whatever it is that they're doing, like with our full selves too. So that was kind of a rambling answer because I just get all excited.
I was kind of going for a rambling answer.
Good. I did it. All right. Go me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, so super fun. So I got one last question. I was wondering what this knob does. What is?
Oh, don't do that.
Okay, don't touch that one.
Not that one. We have a secret pod on the moon, the Patreon moon pod, and if you touch that one, you're coming with us and you can't ever come back.
Okay, right on. All right. Well, stay away from the orange knob, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Well, hey, thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully you will go check out Patreon and see some of the many ways in which it can help make your life and your art better. Any parting words?
Keep creating, for real. Free lunch, it's a thing.
All right. Lots of love, everybody. Peace.
Peace, yo.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So fun.
Thank you.
Fun.
Yeah, I'm awesome.
Wicked. Hello. And welcome to... Okay, we got to do it this time with no giggling. No giggling. Okay.